The story begins with Class A1 students. Students are doing everything except studying. There lies our main character, Takuya Seo. He is not your average otaku. He is the type who is into anime girls. Doesn't matter their age. He looks at his exclusive Glittermon eraser when suddenly a hand snatches it away. It turns out to be Kotoko Ijichi, an airheaded girl. She says that she is borrowing his eraser. Takuya rebels, saying that eraser means a lot to him. Another girl, Kei Amane, takes a look at the eraser and finds out that it is Keppi who appeared in episode 2. Takuya is surprised to hear that. Kotoko asks Takuya about Glittermon. He turns around, eyes spiraling like a tornado. He turns back and looks at Amane, who is in the same condition. Amane then tells Kotoko that she will bring her a manga tomorrow. Kotoko asks if she is interested in Glittermon as well. Amane refuses instantly, saying that her younger sister watches it. Talk about dodging a bullet. Later, Takuya stays in the bathroom and checks if what she said was true. It turns out that she was. He wonders if she really is an otaku like him. When the class ends, he chases after her, hoping to have a conversation with her. However, Amane pins him against the wall and tells him that she has no interest in watching anime. Takuya apologizes for assuming she is. He then takes out a limited edition keychain that only a few people have. Amane turns back and excitedly talks about it. It looks like the cat is out of the bag. He gives her that keychain. She accepts it, saying that her younger sister will love it. Takuya turns around thinking she is super cute. Later, Kotoko runs through the hallway, talking with any student passing by. Social anxiety out of the window. She then meets up with Mayu and clings to her. The other students stare in embarrassment. During the class, she picks up Takuya's eraser once more. She acts as if it were taken by a UFO. Talk about being childish. She recognizes this eraser. Takuya shakes his seat in excitement, asking if she has watched Glittermon. Takuya starts to ramble about Glittermon like ChatGPT. He apologizes, realizing that he has been talking non-stop. Kotoko tells him that he looks like the Rocket Man. Suddenly, she holds his head and says that he and Rocket Man have big round eyes. Takuya's eyes spiral like a tornado. Kotoko also points out that they both blush easily too. She then takes his phone to check if he has Minsta. She checks and finds that he has all sorts of anime stuff on his account. He begins to relive his memories when students bullied him for having anime on his phone. However, this time it's different. Kotoko asks excitedly, asking if he has drawn them himself. Takuya's face breaks apart as he asks if she doesn't find it weird. Kotoko explains that she likes them as it seems that he is a collector. Suddenly, she wraps her arm around him and takes a selfie. Kotoko tells him that he should post pictures like this too. Later, he heads home on a train while thinking about Patch, who died during the anime. He wishes to share his sorrow with someone. Surprisingly, Amane is on the same train. He looks at her face and realizes that she has been crying for Patch as well. Another student's game freezes, and he says that he is waiting for the patch. Just when Amane hears about Patch, she says his name out loud. It confirms that she was crying about the same Patch. Later, the basketball captain confesses his feelings to Amane. During class, Mayu asks her if it is true that she rejected him. Amane says that she really didn't know him, so she rejected him. The students begin to ask her about her beauty. She tells them that she just uses sunscreen. They ask her where she spends all her money. Amane was about to say Glittermon, but stopped mid-track. Takuya hears this with his giant ear. His eyes land on another trinket that she has. It confirms his doubt that she is a Glittermon fan. However, Amane comes to him and tells him that her sister forced her to get it. Before she could say anything, Takuya told her that he had cried all night because Patch had died the night before. He then asks her if she really hates Glittermon. Amane turns close and tells him that he likes it. However, it was just because of her little sister. Before she could explain further, Kotoko arrived there and asked if they were both going out. Amane blushes, refuses, and explains that they were talking about the charm on her bag. She turns to Takuya for confirmation. However, he is out cold. Later, they brought him to the hospital for a checkup. Later, class begins, and Takuya notices that he has forgotten his textbook. He takes out a maths book instead of literature. The teacher begins to make students read the book one by one. Kotoko turns around, asking for a red pen. Her gaze lands on his book. He thinks that she is going to make fun of him for opening a maths book. However, she raises her hand, saying she forgot her textbook. Kotoko smiles and tells him that it was hilarious that he would try to fool the teacher with his maths book. He realizes that she was covering for him. She tells him that this is payback. The class ends. Later, Amane and Kotoko talk with other students. Takuya packs his stuff and heads out. On his way, he comes across a man asking for directions to the city hall. Later, he arrives at the anime shop. Surprisingly, he finds Amane and Kotoko at the same shop. Amane shouts, saying it is not what it looks like. She says that she is buying this for her little sister. He asks them if they weren't supposed to go to karaoke. Amane explains why they didn't go. Kotoko says that she tagged along with her. He thinks about asking them to shop together. However, he realizes that they both live in different worlds. He thinks about sneaking back here later and buying his own mystery box. However, before he could leave, they grabbed his back and pulled him back. Amane and Kotoko say that they should buy figurines together. They talk about the figurines and stuff. Later, he opens his box and finds the figurine he wanted. He realizes that it was his reward for helping that fella. Amane feels defeated that she didn't get her Lord Vamp. Instead, she got Patch, who just died. Kotoko, in an instant, goes into her fan mode and starts raving about Glittermon as if it were the best show on Earth, mentioning one particular scene. In confusion, Seo tries to understand what scene it could be, as he didn't expect she would be coming up with this topic out of nowhere. And then boom, Amane casually walks in and recognizes the scene from the episode with expert precision. That being said, Seo is taken aback, as he was not expecting Amane to be interested in all of this due to the fact that she claims to be not interested in stuff like that. Then again, Amane immediately attempts to get out of trouble by pinning the blame on her sister and insisting that she was only watching it inadvertently and does not really like it. Seo continues talking about the show. When Kotoko asks how many episodes it has, Seo reveals that it has 14 episodes. Just then, Amane drops another bomb, announcing that it has a special episode 0, making Seo realize that this girl cannot really be a casual viewer. When Kotoko learns that Seo owns all the copies of Glittermon, she decides to binge watch at his place. Seo gets nervous due to the fact that having 2 girls show up at his room was not part of his life plan. He tries to say no, but Kotoko pokes him for being shy. In his defense, he blurts out that he's making a fan edition of Glittermon. This was a big mistake because now Amane is all excited and suddenly she also wants to go for her sister. Later, both girls arrive at his place, where they look around his spotless room like detectives, while Amane gets worked up about nothing, and Kotoko starts rummaging through his books as if she's on an expedition. At this point, Seo feels like he's fighting for his life, trying to get done with watching the episodes without things becoming even more bizarre. To make matters worse, Kotoko starts getting way too close to him as if she doesn't understand the concept of personal space at all. Somehow Seddon manages to gain control again and suggests they should concentrate on watching. The subject of glow sticks is brought into discussion. Seddon feels humiliated by it. At first Amane agrees with him, but then thinks it might actually be a good idea. Even at this point, Seddon is low-key suspicious of Amane, not believing that she is just a casual viewer. But then a new character shows up, making Amane very hyperactive as if she were a hardcore fan. Her excitement is pretty evident on her face. Amid all this, Amane ends up touching Seddon, and he instantly gets into panic mode, heartbeat going haywire. While this is happening, Kotoko is busy doing side missions, taking their pictures secretly. Amane gets way too annoyed by all of this. Fortunately, the picture is not clear enough, sparing Seo any embarrassment. Kotoko teases Amane by joking about posting the picture online to stir things up, but then she clarifies that she is just kidding. After this, without warning, Amane changes the topic to arts and asks Seo about it, which makes Seo feel really shy and shares his profile on social media. When Seo shows his account, something crazy happens. Amane has been following him from the very beginning. Kotoko immediately begins making fun of him for being famous, but Seo explains that he has only 50 followers. Ignoring all of it, they begin discussing art, but Kotoko messes everything up again by suggesting that they are basically a couple. Now it's Amane who feels embarrassed while Seo tries to survive the conversation. Seo proceeds to demonstrate his drawing skills to them, and Amane joins him until, once again, Kotoko inquires about whom he thinks is prettier. Seo cleverly dodges the question by providing an entirely odd answer, and they both burst into laughter rather than getting involved in a fight. At last, they all have a good time together, and once they are gone, Seo sits there feeling pleased but also tired mentally due to the entire commotion. The next day at school, Amane asks Seo to hang out again, but Kotoko warns them to stop wandering around, as exams are near. Afterward, Seo is shopping for Glittermon items and runs into Kotoko. However, unlike her typical self, she's acting as a big sister trying to take care of her brothers. Seo is very impressed with her. Kotoko immediately instructs him not to tell anyone else about this side of her. However, her brother pops up and makes an assumption that Seo is her boyfriend, causing her to go silent. Later back in school, Seo brags about his Glittermon items, and both the girls start to compete, particularly Kotoko, who gets low-key jealous seeing how fast Amane replies to Seo like she's on 5G speed. Before long, the two girls request that Seo come to hang out and chat with them over the holiday season at the same time. Seo is now facing the toughest challenge ever, dealing with two girls who are making him crazy. At last, Seo's phone blows up from both sides. He stares blankly at the screen, unable to figure out how to answer them. Seo is terrified, as if this guy has seen a ghost. However, this is not the case. He has just been invited by the two girls. At first, he assumes that it is a prank, as it is kind of unreal that two girls have given an invitation to a guy who is such a noob. Yet, it dawns on him that this is not a prank, and he actually has to meet both the girls. Later, he meets both girls who are out of his league. Initially, Kotoko proposes an extremely organized method wherein Seo will spend time with both of them individually, but Amane does not want to have this kind of arrangement, as she wants both of them to meet up normally, like any other person. Still, Kotoko leaves, but not without acting like a strict supervisor by giving them a time limit. She even teasingly asks them if they will be heading to a hotel for some fun, making them angry and awkward at the same time. As she leaves, both Seo and Amane are walking on the street. At the same time, he tells her about his interest related to animation. Thus, they plan to go and check out stores related to it. Just then, Seo notices that Amane's aura is so cool that everyone passing by them is staring at her. In that instant, some guys approach them, mocking Seo, basically reducing him to Amane's brother like he's just an accessory. However, Amane intimidates them and leaves. Immediately, Seo the noob approaches Amane, acknowledging that she must have been scared. Yet, she is an ice queen, and people are scared of her instead, considering that her personality seems rough. She even admits she is not good at doing interesting activities. Though, Seo is completely gone for her and assures her that he finds her pretty cool, making her happy. They head out shopping, with Amane nonchalantly mentioning that she usually shops with her little sister. The two get animated about books, and for a fleeting second they connect through a shared interest in a particular page. But no way. Quickly, Amane clarifies that it is her sister's taste. With that, the store owner assumes they are dating and calls them an otaku couple. Later, Amane expresses how much she enjoyed today and keeps bringing up her sister until Seo finally asks. That's when she reveals the truth. There's no real sister, just a neighborhood girl she spoils like one because the girl insists on calling her big sister. Seo hopes to meet the girl one day so that they can talk about animations too, especially Glittermon. This gives Amane an idea that maybe he wants to come over to her place. However, they both are interrupted when Kotoko rushes towards them and declares they've spent enough time, now it's her turn. Now both Kotoko and Seo are in a park. Immediately, she turns the meeting into a let's roast Seo session by taking his embarrassing pictures. And then she makes him take a dancing video class. She dances like a pro while Seo is doing something that looks like solving physics problems with his body. Then, when they're shopping in the mall, Seo is all excited about getting a budget Glittermon merch item, and Kotoko begins to question his choice of girl and life in general. As always, he falls silent. Amane comes by, and the date ends abruptly like a cancelled business meeting. Afterwards, at school, everybody turns into Glittermon pros rather than actual students. Kotoko finally notices that she is surrounded by exam procrastinators. It seems that she's the only one doing her homework. They decide to study together, but Seo gets easily distracted, and Kotoko leaves, reminding them that they need to study. Therefore, they end up doodling Glittermon. In the evening, they walk home together and accidentally touch hands at a traffic signal. Both of them internally panic. They arrive at Amane's place, and they know it is their first time in this particular situation, Seo entering the private quarters of a girl, and Amane inviting a boy over. Amane proudly displays her collection of Glittermons, only to have the fun destroyed when Sayu barges into the place and makes all her secrets known. She's not just a fan, but a hardcore one who was tricked into being a cool older sister. Additionally, she even considers Sayu her boyfriend. Next, Sayu reveals more secrets that completely destroy all their cool facades, including constant teasing, which eventually leads to Amane kicking her out like an emergency restart system. Now comes the Glittermon battle. Amane boldly issues a challenge to Sayu, expecting a dramatic duel, but all Sayu cares about is getting her rare item. Sayu wins easily, and Amane immediately freaks out and offers him everything except what he really wants. Right then, Sayu is back only to mock them for their suspicious behavior around a kid. Afterward, Sayu leaves and Sayu is shipping them like a fan. Yet Amane tries giving excuses as if she were in a courtroom. When the exam results are announced, as expected, Kotoko has done great, while Amane is an academic disaster. Then, Kotoki takes Seo out again because their previous movie date was cut short. This time, Seo is all excited, and Amane attempts to tag along, though she is politely asked not to because study comes before romance. The two spend time together, going to the movies, gaming, and playfully insulting each other for fun. Kotoko beats all his games while Seo manages to win all kinds of prizes simply based on dumb luck. They even end up taking pictures together. Seo notices certain things about Kotoko and begins to understand that he is slowly getting comfortable with her presence. That evening, both of them head back home, walking side by side, being evidently comfortable with each other's presence. Amani sits in her room watching a rom-com film. She eats her chips while watching people's reviews about the film. Just then, she remembers Ajichi asking Takuya on an after-school date. The next morning, she meets up with Takuya and Ajichi in class. She asks both of them what movie they went to watch during their date. Ajichi and Takuya tell her that they went out to watch Zombie vs. Shark. Amani is caught off guard. This lady thought they were going to watch a rom-com movie. She feels relieved after she hears this. Just then, she wonders why she is feeling relieved. Ajichi then tells her that they did hit the photo booth afterwards. Amane is curious and thinks that they did something people do on actual dates. Ajichi takes out the album and shows her the pictures. They are quite different from what Amane was expecting. Takuya and Ajichi cosplayed as a shark and a zombie. Just then, Ajichi accidentally drops another image. Takuya picks it up and finds a guy in that picture. Ajichi quickly snatches it away while blushing. Something seems fishy. Takuya's life turns upside down as he wonders just who that person was. Ajichi walks out of the class, saying that she has to hit the can. Takuya continues to spin in an infinite void while thinking if that was her boyfriend. This man has overthinking problems. Amane points out that Ajichi has an elder brother. However, she has never seen this guy. Amane and Takuya wonder if that was her sugar daddy since he was too old. Amane deduces that it has to be that reason. She wonders if it is really their place to say anything. Takuya stands up, hitting that usual friendship line. Later, both wear straps, showing their full support for Ajichi. Ajichi enters the class and sighs. She then explains that the guy in the photo was her eldest brother. It turns out Ajichi has 4 siblings, youngest being 7 and the eldest 25. Her parents sure are active in that department. Just then, another girl calls out to Amane, and she walks out. She tells Ajichi that she can tell them if she ever has any problems. Ajichi thinks Amane is pretty cool. She turns to Takuya and tells her that she could fall for him. Talk about randomness. Takuya drops a one-liner and makes Ajichi blush. Later, the teacher announces the game period. Ajichi and Takuya have fallen into despair since neither of them is good at sports. However, Amane is a different story. She tells Takuya to come see her at her girls' basketball game. Amane plays like a champ, hitting dunks one after another. Their team is in the lead. Takuya stares in disbelief. He cannot believe how good and popular Amane really is. The other students call her the Iron Mask since she never broke a smile. Takuya, on the other hand, understands that she must be really hyped on the inside. Takuya calls out to her and wishes her good luck for the match. Amane lets out a smile and waves at him. The other girls stare in awe, falling in love with her smile instantly. Amane is hyped, thinking that she has to show her good side to Takuya. Just then, realization hits her. She wonders why she is thinking about Takuya. Her focus breaks and she loses the ball. This girl is daydreaming mid-match. She tries to confront herself, saying that she only wants to get back at him since she is not good at studies. However, she is good at sports, while Takuya sucks at it. Just then, she hits a score. Another girl calls out to her, saying she really loves it. Amane gets the wrong idea and tries to deny it. The girl clarifies that she was talking about basketball. Amane blushes and accepts that she loves basketball. It looks like Takuya has done some charm on this beauty. They finally win the match. Next up, it's Takuya's baseball match. He looks at the board and wonders if he is going to play so badly and ruin everyone's game. They are going to kick him out if he did. He wonders how Ajichi is doing. Elsewhere, Ajichi plays her ping pong match. Takuya goes to watch her match. She delivers the first shot and hits the ball to the ceiling. This girl shouldn't be allowed to play ping pong. Takuya notices that despite her awful play, she has more male audience members. He finally understands the reason behind that when Ajichi's jiggle physics activate when she hits the ball. Later, Takuya goes to play baseball and gets struck out on the first 3 balls. He will be the reason they will lose. Despite his terrible performance, some students compliment his efforts. The game ends, and Amane and Ajichi suggest an after-game party. Takuya refuses the offer as he was already invited by the baseball team to a karaoke. Ajichi gets up and congratulates him for making new friends. Amane shows a bit of jealousy since Takuya will get to sing Glittermon. Ajichi then gets a bright idea and suggests that the 3 of them should do karaoke together. They think about going out together in the summer. Meanwhile, this man is lost in his thoughts on how he spent his last summer at home. Amane and Ajichi bring him back to the present and ask him to keep his calendar clear for them. Ijichi teases him, asking if he was imagining them in swimsuits. Any boy would imagine these baddies in swimsuits. After a few days, they head out to sing in a karaoke. Takuya shows high spirits after being such a downer. They hand over the microphone to Takuya and ask him to go first. Takuya gives a performance that would even make a deaf guy's ears bleed. The performance ends, leaving the room in complete silence. Takuya finally realizes that he exposed his bad introvert habits. However, both of them compliment his performance. These girls are too forgiving and supportive. The three of them then sing together and have a great time together. After a while, they take a break. Takuya points out that Ijichi looks a lot like Michi, the idol singer in Glittermon. Later, Takuya goes out to refill the drinks. He returns, and before entering the room, he wonders which drink was his. Just then, Ijichi comes out of the room and grabs a drink from his hand and drinks it. It looks more erotic than it should. Takuya's face drains of color as he realizes that it was his drink. She asks if he mixed coffee into the drink. Takuya denies and explains the situation. Ijichi laughs and says that it doesn't matter if it was an indirect kiss since they are not in middle school anymore. They head inside, and Amane asks Takuya what he is going to sing next. Meanwhile, Ijichi begins to blush while thinking about the indirect kiss. Later, they head back. On the way, Ijichi suggests that they should do a barbecue since her eldest brother does it every year. After a few days, Takuya waits at the sea by the beach. Just then, Ijichi and Amane arrive there in their swimsuits. Ijichi looks at Takuya and asks if he likes their swimsuits. Takuya lets out a scream in pure excitement. Ijichi compliments Amane's swimsuit, calling it quite cute. Amane tells her that she is wearing a swimsuit, but she isn't planning to go swimming. Meanwhile, Takuya is thinking just how cute their outfits really are, unaware of the monster standing behind him. 1 hour earlier, Takuya was traveling with Amane and her little sister, Sayu. Takuya is busy wondering how nice it would feel to be at sea with Ijichi and Amane. Just then, Sayu calls out to him. Takuya realizes that she has a new phone. She explains that she is going to take a lot of pictures. However, her face turns mischievous as she repeats the sentence in her mind. This girl has unholy intentions. Later, they meet up with Ijichi and her brothers. Her elder brother, Jinichiro, introduces himself and his two little brothers, Kakeru and Hibiki. Amane and Takuya introduce themselves as well. Later, Ijichi asks the girls to come along since they need to change. They leave the area. Takuya doesn't understand what he should talk about. He asks the typical question about the weather. Hibiki asks if Ijichi's boyfriend acted like this before. Takuya panics and clarifies that they are not in a relationship. Genshiro places his hand over Takuya's shoulder, acting friendly and being understanding. Takuya feels relieved. Just then, Genshiro's expression turns grim. He acts as if he will eat Takio whole. He says that there better be no feelings involved with his sister. This guy's really scary. Takio swears on God that he has no feelings involved. Genshiro asks if he has made any move on her. Takio refuses instantly. Genshiro lifts her hands and grabs Takio in a headlock. He pulls his cheek asking why he hasn't made a move yet. This guy is really confusing. Later, Ijichi holds Amane and asks Takio about their swimsuits. Takuya looks back at the demon Genshiro while stuttering. He doesn't understand whether he should compliment or stay neutral. After a while, they set up their food and stuff on a table. Genshiro asks everyone to go and play. Ijichi, Kakeru, and Hibiki make a run for the ocean. However, Genshiro calls them back saying they have work to do. Amane offers to help. However, Genshiro refuses while carrying all his siblings in his arms. Poor siblings struggle to get free. Amane and Takuya head into the water with Sayu. Takuya looks at Amane and thinks that she is always photogenic wherever she goes. Sayu calls out to Takuya, asking if she can guess what he is thinking. She says that Takuya is thinking that Amane is photogenic, and whether Sayu will snap their romantic picture together. She got the first part right. Amane comes to her and tells her that it is her own thoughts. Sayu feels a bit disappointed since she got the phone for this very purpose. Later, they plan to create a crab from Glittermon and sand. Ijichi looks at them and says that it looks fun. Just then, Genshiro calls her out and tells her to get back to work. My girl can't even enjoy herself at the beach. Amane and others make the perfect replica crab. Sayu asks them to make the crab's eyes bigger while she measures them from a distance. Takuya and Amane get to work while Sayu goes behind them and captures a close-up picture of Amane and Takuya. This girl is sly as a fox. Afterwards, Ijichi comes running towards Amane and jumps on her, causing her to fall into the water. She gets up and they both have a water fight. Fan service at its peak. Meanwhile, Kakeru and Hibiki target Takuya. They make him play ball and beat him in the game. My man can't even win against elementary school kids. Ijichi comes to Takuya, saying that the brothers have been acting up a lot. Takuya tells her that it is fine since he is the only child, so he feels good pretending like he has brothers. This man is depressed. Later, they bury him in sand and run away. Sayu moves back to take a picture while Amane and Ejichi are sitting beside Takuya. She lets out a smirk and snaps another picture. Someone has to control this child. Just then, Kakeru collides with Ejichi, causing her to fall over Takuya. Ejichi starts to blush heavily. Genshiro rises from his seat and buries Takuya deeper. My man didn't even do anything. Afterwards, they start to have a barbecue. The brothers consider Takuya to be Ejichi's boyfriend. Meanwhile, Sayu thinks that he belongs to Amane. Amane and Ejichi both tell them that it is nothing like that. The girls tell them to fight about their own stuff, the brothers start to brag about their game. However, Sayu finds it quite sad that it is the best thing they could do, putting the brothers to shame. After a little quarrel, the boys head out to play with their ball. Sayu stands there pissed. Takuya diffuses the situation and asks Sayu to come along with him to get ice pops. On the way back, Takuya tries to tell Sayu that it would be good if they all enjoyed themselves together. Later, she goes to the brothers and apologizes for earlier. She offers them ice pops. The brothers blush and accept her apology. Later, all of them enjoy different activities. Genshiro asks Takuya who he likes better between Amane and his sister. This is a death sentence? Takuya dodges the question, saying that they are his friends. Genshiro asks whom he would choose if they both asked him out for a date. This man really wants to kill Takuya. Takuya thinks that he would choose both. He advises Takuya to treat them right. Just then, Ejichi comes while talking to Amane. She says that the other day, Takuya was making her bawl her eyes out. Genshiro smiles devilishly as he misunderstands it. Takuya instantly clears up that she is talking about the movie. Later, Takuya comes and sits with Ejichi, and they both talk for a while. Just then, they are about to have a romantic moment. Suddenly, Genshiro appears out of nowhere, telling Takuya that he would murder him if he made a move on her. Later, Ejichi and her family part ways with Amane, Takuya, and Sayu. They head back on the train they came on. Sayu falls asleep while leaning on Takuya. Suddenly, Takuya falls asleep as well. Amane leans in and closes her eyes as well. They share a moment. Suddenly, a thud wakes Takuya up. Amane looks back and only blushes. After a few days, Takuya looks at his homework. He chooses to draw Glittermon instead. Man has priorities. Just then, he gets a call from Amane. She invites him to a wedding chapel to act as a model. He refuses, trying to run away. Amane tells him that he will get paid for the job while clinging to his back. Money speaks. Amane says that he is the one she knows well enough to ask. Just then, Amane's mother, Tamaki, arrives there. She is one attractive mom. Takuya bows and greets her. Later, they head inside the building and an assistant takes Tanaki to prepare him. Meanwhile, Amane heads out with her mother to get ready. Tamaki teases Amane, asking if Takuya and Amane are a thing. This woman really teases her kid. Amane explains that Takuya is more into Glittermon than into her. Meanwhile, Takuya is standing in the corner. Like a student who is on timeout, he panics left and right while thinking about his preparations. Suddenly, a guy announces that Kei Amane is ready for the shoot. Just then, Takuya turns his face to look towards Amane. This woman is blushing as if it were her own marriage. The cameraman asks them to hold hands. This is the forbidden ritual. They move their hands close to one another like cranky machines. Tamaki wonders if they are all rusty. Tamaki walks forward and begins to show Takuya all of Amane's childhood pictures. Amane shouts, asking her to stop. Takuya, on the other hand, thinks that she has always been athletic. Amane tells him to stop analyzing her. Tamaki asks them if they are feeling a bit relaxed now. They both laugh and share a moment of happiness. Tamaki looks at them and smiles. This woman knows how to work her magic. Afterwards, they continue to pose smoothly throughout the rest of the photo shoot. Later, Takuya comes across Ejichi while getting a drink. She grabs his hand and drags him away. Like a puppy. Ejichi asks if he and Amane did something unholy in her room. Takuya refuses instantly. She then asks him to come to her house as well. She makes an excuse for her little brothers. Later, they walk around the mall, trying different things. Just then, Echichi gets a call from Mayu. She walks out and bids her farewell to Takuya. Later, he returns home and gets a text from Amane. They plan to go and see fireworks. After a few days, they head out to see fireworks. Takuya looks at Echichi and Amane and Yakutha. His heart skips a beat. It seems like it will come out of his chest. Ejichi teases Takuya and asks if they can hold hands. Just then, Amane coughs. Ejichi slithers like a snake, asking if they held hands like couples. Takuya explains the situation. He also points out that they too held hands while going to Gonki. They finally decide that the three of them will hold hands and walk together. They begin to walk and enjoy multiple games. Amane heads out with another girl. Something fishy is about to happen. Later, they look at the fireworks. Amane looks at Ejichi and Takuya from afar as explosions take place in the sky. Ijichi blushes. Takuya stutters, asking if she is really into him. Ijichi turns into a cat, changing the subject. She says that she meant that she likes him. Just then, Amane arrives there, asking them if they don't want to see the fireworks. She asks Ijichi if she just confessed her feelings for Takuya. Ijichi refuses, saying that she only said she likes to be his friend. Amane grabs Ijichi and asks if she really meant it as a friend. She tells Amane that she is into her as well. It sounds sus. The next day, Takuya realizes that they have to write a book report. This is why kids should do their homework first. Amane is in the same condition. She calls Ijichi for help. However, Ijichi is busy cooking meals for her siblings. Takuya rushes to write all his homework like a bull high on caffeine. Sayu stands behind Amane, crying to make sure she finishes her homework before she can get any snacks. Meanwhile, Ijichi is busy enjoying her day since she has already done her homework. The next day, both of them arrive at school like old people. It looks like doing homework has completely drained their energy. Later, just like usual, Ijichi forgot her pencil. She acts like a pencil cop and confiscates Takuya's pencil. Talk about abusing power. Later, the teacher draws a seat change. Ijichi gets another window seat. Meanwhile, Takuya gets a seat in the middle. Ijichi considers this a breakup and hands Takuya a piece of candy. A parting gift, it seems. The students finally move to their new seats. Takuya looks at Ijichi and realizes that he was lucky to have been sitting behind her. If he hadn't sat behind her, they wouldn't have really become friends. Just then, he notices that his current seat is behind Amane. Amane turns around and says that it is her turn to sit in front of him. Just then, two students look at Amane and Takuya as they talk. Takuya gets up to head to the restroom. The same two students stop him on his way. They ask if Takuya is really friends with Amane, since she is mostly cold and doesn't talk that much with other boys. Talk about hitting a jackpot. Takuya accidentally tells them that he and Amane share common interests. The other guys shout, asking if Amane is really an otaku. Just then, Takuya turns his head into the class and looks at Amane. He finds a killing aura emanating from her. This girl would kill to keep it a secret that she is an otaku. Takuya panics and tells the boys that it was her little sister who has common interests with him. The boys agree that Amane does talk about her little sister often. The boys finally leave, and Takuya takes a sigh of relief. Ijichi remembers the things she did during the fireworks festival. Later, she sits in the class thinking that nothing has changed between Takuya and her. Just then, Takuya appears out of nowhere. She asks him what he is doing there. Takuya seems like he needs some help with his English lesson. Ijichi explains everything to him clearly. Ijichi notices that Takuya has forgotten his notebook on her table. Something fishy cooks up in her mind. Later, the class starts, and Takuya realizes that there is a note in his book. He looks at the note and blushes heavily. It was a cute note left by Ijichi. The next day, Ijichi and Amane sit together to talk about something. Just then, Takuya arrives there. Ijichi annoys him by offering him to sit in her lap. Once-in-a-lifetime moment. Later, they talk about a festival. Just then, other students arrive there and cover Ijichi and Amane. Mayu tells them about some rumor that if a boy and girl hold their hands together during the fireworks night, they are bound to find happiness. Amane and Ijichi both imagine Takuya as a hero who would offer his hand. Later, the class is super hyped about the pop-up event. Their excitement is valid since their main objective is to make Amane and Ijichi wear a cosplay. They surround both Amane and Ijichi, suggesting different cosplays. Ijichi picks maid cosplay. Amane refuses. However, Ijichi tries to convince her that Takuya would love to see her in cosplay. She finally agrees on the condition that everyone in the class will cosplay as well. The whole class decides to do a cosplay cafe. One of the girls shows different maid outfits to Amane. Amane thinks about the Earth Sama cosplay and asks if she can wear a mask. The girl begins to violently shake Amane, telling her that it is illegal for pretty girls to hide their faces behind a mask. Just then, Amane notices that Takuya is using some wire to create something like a globe, just like the cosplay she was about to do. This girl can barely contain her punches. Later, Ijichi talks to the boys and compliments them. Suddenly, his girlfriend arrives and hits his head. Ijichi is confused why they would fight if they are all lovey-dovey. Mayu tells her that it is called jealousy. Just then, another girl approaches Takuya and gets his scissors. She starts to get a bit friendly with him. Ijichi finally feels the hint of jealousy. Just like Amane, she can barely contain her punches. Later, Amane and Ijichi talk with other students. They tell both of them that anyone would pay 10 million yen to see them in swimsuits. Later, they extort Takuya for 100 million yen since he saw them in swimsuits in yukata. After the class ends, Takuya walks back to his home. Ijichi stops him and asks if he would like to work on the costumes together. Takuya doesn't waste a second and agrees instantly. Later, they come to Ijichi's elder brother Genshiro's apartment to work on their costumes. It is time for them to prepare for their festival. Takuya can barely contain himself. The thought of being in a room alone with a girl is overwhelming him. Suddenly, Ijichi leans to get scissors. Takuya's gaze lands on the unholy land. Ijichi teases him for being so nervous around her. Takuya panics and denies, saying that he is perfectly normal. Ijichi feels a bit down. She explains that they don't get time to talk in class nowadays, and he seems to have a blast. Takuya explains that he feels glad when he works with other students. It makes him feel like a part of the class. Poor guy is a victim of loneliness. He adds that he is glad to be here since he was feeling lonely. Just then, the bell rings. It turns out to be Amane. She is here to work on her dress as well. It looks like she forgot the way and got lost. This girl has no sense of direction. Takuya thinks that it might not get weird if there are 3 of them in the house. However, soon he realizes that the situation has just gotten worse. The realization hits like a jolt of lightning. Later, they continue to work on their cosplays. Takuya finally makes the Earth-sama mask. He wears it and acts as if he were the character itself. Amane wants to try it out as well. She gets the mask and leans closer, asking Takuya to undress as she needs his vest and pants. Takuya moves back, scared of her. Ijichi calls her a pervert. This girl had no idea what she just said. Later, she goes into the bathroom to change her outfit. Suddenly, she realizes that the clothes smell like Takuya. She begins to imagine as if Takuya were right beside her. Later, she comes out of the bathroom without the cosplay. Takuya asks if she didn't like the cosplay. Amane refuses, saying that the cosplay is well made and she doesn't want to ruin it. She then smells her arm. Takuya asks if the costume stinks. Amane refuses, but the damage has been done. Takuya falls into despair and says that he will work while keeping a slight distance. Later, they continue their work. It gets late and night falls. Ijichi suggests that they should have a slumber party. Later, Ijichi and others ask Genshiro to let them have a slumber party. Ijichi makes a puppy face to win him over. Genshiro refuses at first, saying that they are all high schoolers. Everyone feels disheartened. However, he agrees to let them stay for one night. Amane talks with her mother and tells her all the details. Genshiro talks with Takuya's mother and explains the situation. Takuya thanks him for talking to his mother. Genshiro wraps his arm around Takuya and says that he is sure that he won't try to do anything as long as he is there. This guy is a walking threat. Later, they change up and have some pizza together. They indulge in other activities that they forget about the work. Takuya reminds them. Amane says that she was just about to begin. Ijichi, on the other hand, has no plan to work. She suggests that they should take a bath and get refreshed. She asks Takuya to take one first. Takuya tells them that he doesn't mind if they bathe first. He creates a suspicious situation. Later, he is done taking a bath. Ijichi asks Amane to bathe together. Fan service incoming. Ijichi and Amane take a bath together and give viewers some fan service. Meanwhile, Takuya is outside, wondering what it feels like when 2 girls bathe together. He starts to get unholy thoughts about the 2. Their words trigger Takuya further. He tries to distract himself with Glittermon, but fails to do so. His brain turns pink as his clothesless body floats in the infinite void of pinkness. Just then, the Glittermon appeared before him and boosted his morale. Genshiro looks at him from the door and closes it. Takuya is sitting there, hugging the Earth-sama mask as if his life depended on it. Later, the 2 of the girls get out of the bath. Amane apologizes for taking too long. Takuya keeps staring at them like a creep. Ijichi points it out and asks him to stop staring. Amane says that it is weird since they don't have makeup on. Takuya tells them that they look good despite not having any makeup on. Later, they finish their work, and it is about midnight. They decide to hit the hay. Ijichi tells Takuya that he is going to sleep next to Genshiro. Takuya is surprised and asks if she was serious about that. Just then, Genshiro appears behind him like a ghost and asks if he doesn't want to sleep with him. It makes Takuya shiver like a scared rabbit. He quickly begins to appreciate the thought of sleeping next to him. Genshiro points out that he is making it weird now. They head to sleep. Later, Ijichi seems to be awake in her room. She turns to Amane, asking if she is having trouble sleeping. It looks like none of them is falling asleep. Takuya is awake in his bed as well. Just then, Ijichi and Amane come outside Takuya's room. They ask him if he is awake. Genshiro wakes up, shouting at them to go to sleep. Genshiro comes out of the room, asking if they plan to waste their slumber party. He explains that when they used to have slumber parties, they never went to sleep. Amane and Ijichi bet that whoever sleeps first will buy everyone soft drinks. Genshiro asks them to keep it a bit low since it is the middle of the night. Later, Takuya heads out of the room with Ijichi and Amane. The 3 of them begin to watch a movie. Ijichi asks Takuya what kind of girls he likes. Amane says that she wants to know as well. Takuya says that there is no one in the class whom he likes. Amane and Ijichi ask him if he was forced to go out with someone whom he would choose. Takuya explains that he only talks to 2 people in the class, so he would choose Amane and Ijichi. Both of them are glad to hear this answer. It looks like they were planning to get this answer from him. Takuya asks them the same question. They respond with his name. It creates an awkward moment. Ijichi suggests that they should continue to watch the movie. Ijichi begins to fall asleep, while Amane and Takuya are night owls. After a while, Ijichi finally falls asleep, leaving Amane and Takuya in a one-on-one battle. They start another movie. Takuya asks Amane why she hides the fact that she is an otaku. Amane explains that it is because she could never talk to anyone about that stuff. She starts to explain her backstory on how other girls used to talk about celebrities and stuff while she was into Glittermon. She continues to explain her reasons for not showing anyone that she is an otaku. Takuya thinks that he didn't realize that Amane was having so much trouble. Later, Takuya explains his backstory. He explains that he didn't have any friends. He further adds that he likes talking to both of them. Amane takes out her phone, saying that they should take a picture together. They snap a picture of Ijichi sleeping like a baby. The next morning, they head out to school. Ijichi looks at Amane, who is walking in half sleep, that she doesn't have her costume. It seems this sleepy girl forgot it back at Genshiro's place. Ijichi agrees to go along with her to bring it back. They part ways with Takuya and head back to Genshiro's place. After arriving, they realize that the brolic dude is taking a bath. Ijichi tells Amane that he is going to take forever. She suggests hitting the bakery while they wait. Ijichi asks if they did something while she was asleep. Amane explains that they only talked for a while and watched another movie. Ijichi still finds it unfair that they caught her sleeping and took a picture. Ijichi tells Amane that she has loosened up a lot. Amane says that she was never uptight. Ijichi tells her that she was super uptight. In the past, Amane and Ijichi first came face to face. Amane left without saying a thing. Ijichi, on the other hand, starts talking to a girl about how beautiful Amane was. Later, they find out that the two of them are in the same class. The teacher asks everyone to introduce themselves. Amane gets up and introduces herself as Kei Amane. She talks so coldly, yet the entire class finds her beautiful. Next, it was Ijichi's turn. She introduced herself as Kotoko Ijichi, someone who loves karaoke. Amane glares at her and realizes that she looks like Michi from Glittermon. Ijichi looks at her and thinks if she was glaring at her. Later, Seiji and Takumi come and talk to Ijichi. Next, they walk towards Amane and introduce themselves. However, she responds coldly to them. It was as if they were in an icy land. Ijichi is surprised to hear her answer. Mayu comes there and tells Ijichi that she is going to try next. She tries to act cutely with Amane. Even then, she is met with a cold response that penetrates her heart. Ijichi gathers some courage and gets up, shouting while introducing herself to her. Amane turns back and grins evilly as she says that she is glad as well. It looks like a death threat rather than a greeting. Ijichi sits down, totally defeated. Meanwhile, Amane is busy thinking that she looks just like Michi. Elsewhere, Takuya is huffing like a dog. He thinks that he will talk to someone in just 5 minutes. Poor guy has social anxiety. The next morning, Ijichi greets Amane once more. She greets back coldly. Ijichi seems to be used to it by now. Just then, Mayu calls out to Ijichi, asking if she would come to karaoke. Ijichi agrees and asks Amane if she would like to come as well. Amane refuses. Later, Sayu asks Amane about her school. Amane lies, saying that she has made quite a lot of friends in school. Sayu catches her lie instantly. Amane fires back, saying that there is a cute girl who sits behind her, and she is so nice to her. Sayu tells her that there is no way a cute gal will be kind to an otaku. Amane tells her that no one knows that she is an otaku. The next day at school, Mayu tells Ijichi that they don't have a club after school. They plan to hang out and go to the photo booth. Ijichi looks at Amane and asks her if she would hang out with them. Amane thinks that no boys are coming, so she should go. She tells them that she will come to hang out. Everyone is surprised and happy to know that they will finally get to hang out with Amane. It is like they get to hang with a celebrity. After the class, 2 boys ask Ijichi if they can come to the arcade as well. They overheard it since she was speaking like a broken loudspeaker. Ijichi tells them that they can come along as well. Later, they all gather at the arcade. Ijichi is glad that everyone had a fun time at the arcade. After the arcade, Amane begins to head out. Ijichi stops her and thanks her for coming. Just then, Amane turns around. She tells Ijichi that she came along because she had thought that it would be only Shion, Mayu, Ijichi, and her. Amane further adds that she won't come with her next time. With that, she begins to walk away. Ijichi stands there wondering if she really screwed up. Later, Amane is back at her home. She thinks she should not have said that. She wonders if other students are already sending messages to one another and plotting against her. This girl is overthinking everything. She grabs her phone to look at some Glittermon before heading to sleep. The next morning, Ijichi is absent from the class. Amane wonders if it was because of her. Other girls come to Amane, asking if she knows why Ijichi is absent. They tell her that she had made a long list of things to ask Amane. She wanted to make sure that she had fun. Amane regrets her behavior with Ikichi. Just then, Mayu gets a message from Ikichi. She tells her that she has taken a day off to look after her brothers. Later, Amane comes to Ikichi's house. She apologizes for suddenly showing up and hands over a gift for her. Amane bows down and apologizes. She explains that she doesn't like hanging out with the boys. However, she shouldn't have talked to her like that. My girl realizes her mistake. Ijichi also apologizes for not telling her more people are coming. She asks Amane if she came all the way to her house just to apologize. Amane tells her she thought it would be better if she did it in person. She further added that the girls told her about how considerate she was of Amane. Ijichi bursts into tears and starts crying like a baby. She explains that she is so relieved to hear that. Ijichi didn't know what she would do if Amane started to hate her. Amane comes close and embraces her. She tells her that she doesn't hate her. Amane then asks if she would like to hang out once more. They finally become friends. The next morning, the teacher announces the seat exchange. Ijichi and Amane get moved apart. It bothers Amane. During break, Amane sits with Ijichi. Ijichi goes through her pouch and realizes that she forgot her eraser. She turns around and grabs Takuya's eraser. Amane looks at the eraser and realizes that it is a Glittermon eraser. Her otaku side is showing up. She tries to control it and play it cool. However, she accidentally slips and says that the Glittermon on the eraser first appeared in the second episode. Back in the present, Amane thanks Ijichi for inviting her that day. Ijichi tells Amane that she always thinks about herself. The truth is, she didn't want anyone to hate her. Amane tells her that she has helped her a lot. Amane then tells her that she is a Glittermon otaku. She explains how she was in middle school and never got along with other students. Then, Ijichi became her friend, and it meant a lot to Amane. Just then, Ijichi gets a message from Genshiro. He tells them they can come back to get their costume. For the first time, they call each other by their first name. Somehow, they find it funny. Later, they hold hands and move on like fairies. The festival finally begins. All the students enter the school with their uniforms and cosplays. Takuya walks with his Earth Sama cosplay. He looks like a walking lollipop. He is super hyped for this event since he has spent a lot of time crafting his costume. Takuya wonders if he would fit in. Just when he opens the door, he realizes that he would fit in just right. Everyone has outdone themselves, wearing costumes from a banana to a traffic cone. The girls are wearing the classic nurse and maid outfits. Just then, Ijichi comes there in her maid outfit. Glimmering as always, she compliments Takuya on his Earth Sama cosplay. She asks if she is looking great as well. Takuya stutters and compliments her. Just then, another girl calls out to Takuya and compliments his cosplay. Takuya begins to shed tears of joy for being in the same class as Ijichi. Later, another student lectures other students on the event. He tells them not to do anything weird. Meanwhile, he himself is dressed for a summer vacation. Everyone laughs at his stupid cosplay. The school festival officially begins. Ijichi gets down to business and starts serving up the coffee. Boys are head over heels for Ijichi. Takuya looks around and realizes that the guests are really loving the cosplays. Just then, some students came in to dine. It looks like they have come here in search of Amane. However, to their surprise, Ijichi and Amane are working on different shifts. That same vacation cosplayer comes and calls the students fools. He tells them that there was no way they would put two main attractions on the floor at the same time. This man knows how to attract business customers. He also deviously planned to change their cosplays in shifts to make sure customers keep coming back to see other cosplays. Later, one of the students approached Takuya and told him about the Miss and Mr. contest ballot. It looks like Ijichi or Amane is going to win this contest. Takuya has to make a choice as well between the two. However, he cannot do such a thing since both are precious to him. Just then, a student asks Ijichi if she would like to join him tomorrow for the closing ceremony. She asks the reason behind that. He asks her if she doesn't know about the fireworks rumors. Suddenly, she remembers that Mayu told her about those rumors. Ijichi refuses nicely, saying that she already has a friend with whom she has promised to go. Just then, some other hotshot thinks he has a chance and tries his luck. However, he meets with a refusal as well. Ijichi takes a sigh, telling them that they are disturbing their business. Just then, Ijichi notices that Takuya was lost in his thoughts. She suddenly approaches him and whispers to him. Takuya is startled and asks what it is that she wants to ask. She giggles and asks Takuya if he has any plans to go see fireworks with someone tomorrow. "Don't blow it, son." Takuya tells her that he doesn't have any plans yet. Ijichi then asks why he was being so gloomy a while ago. Takuya explains that he cannot decide what to do about the Mr. and Miss pageant. He then tells her he will be rooting for her. Ijichi thanks him for that. However, Takuya tells her that he added both their names to the pageant. He asks if it is not allowed. Ijichi lets out a laugh, saying that she expected this from him. Later, the students gather around and wait for Amane to appear in her cosplay. Amane finally reveals herself in a vampire cosplay. It turns out that he is a character from Glittermon, Vamp. Takuya understands that Amane was jealous of him before, since he did the Earth-sama cosplay. However, she dropped it afterwards. It seems that she had decided to do Vamp cosplay. The students cheer for her cosplay. They wonder if Amane is really into cosplaying and stuff. In truth, this girl loses all sense of shame while cosplaying. Takuya thinks that she really nailed the cosplay. Just then, a little girl comes to Takuya and recognizes his cosplay. Takuya cannot contain his excitement. He asks her about her favorite Glittermon. She tells him that it is Kepi. Takuya is so glad that he chose this cosplay. Just then, he notices that Amane is hovering over to him. Takuya tells the little girl that there is another Glittermon cosplay around here. She begins to look around the room. Amane coughs, hoping to get recognized by the little girl. However, the little girl has no idea about the vamp. Amane is shocked to know that she has no idea who she is. Takuya tries to comfort Amane by saying that Vamp is not really popular with the kids. Amane tries to play it cool. Just when Amane felt defeated, a girl approached her and asked for a picture. Amane feels happy and guides her to take a picture with her. Takuya is relieved as well. Later, Amane comes to take a picture with Takuya as well. She takes a picture with Takuya. Just then, a girl points out that Amane didn't really like taking pictures with boys before. Amane defends herself by saying that she was into the Earth-sama cosplay. Amane thinks that the two of them weren't even that close, and it means nothing special since they were only posing for the Glittermon pose. Later, they change clothes and head towards the festival. Ijichi and Amane call out to Takuya to meet with them behind the building, Sue's location to meet up. It turns out that those two have brought a cosplay for Takuya to wear. Takuya tries to make an excuse and run away. However, the girls insist that he wear the costume since he has already seen them in cosplay. It turns out to be a maid outfit. Takuya comes out while wearing a maid outfit. This man is a walking tomato. Amane begins to snap his pictures. Talk about taking advantage of the helpless fellow. After making him try on different outfits, they begin to prepare for their next session. Takuya meets up with Sayu, who had come there to roast Amane's cosplays. She walks towards Amane. Takuya realizes that she is about to call Amane Otaku. However, other students surround Sayu. They find Amane's little sister quite adorable. Sayu complains that she came here to see, not to be seen. Amane is surprised to see Sayu caught off guard. Takuya wonders if they should go and rescue her. Later, other students complimented Amane and her composed behavior. Sayu lets out an evil smirk, whispering that this is how Amane acts in school. Amane leans closer, asking if she is about to tell them something silly. Every compliment from students brings another opposite image of Amane in Sayu's mind. This girl knows too much. She can barely contain her laughter. The students ask her about her behavior at home. Amane and Takuya begin to panic. To their surprise, Sayu compliments Amane for being so mature and cool. She furthered that she wants to become like her elder sister one day. This girl is good at lying. Later, Sayu waits with Takuya as she rests. Amane walks in on them and looks at them. It seems like Sayu was having the best time of her life. She looks at the phone and checks the time. It is quite late. Sayu thanks Takuya for spending time with her. Takuya offers to drop her off at the front gate. Before leaving, Sayu asks Takuya if he has heard about the fireworks rumors. She asks why he doesn't go with Amane together. Just then, Amane blushes and stops Sayu right there. She takes her away instantly. Takuya stands there, wondering about the rumors. Later, Sayu walks with Amane. She tells her that it would be a perfect opportunity for the two of them to go see fireworks together. Later, she walks Sayu out of the gate and says her goodbyes. After the event ends, both Amane and Ijichi look at the firework poster. It looks like they both are thinking the same thing. Later, Kikeru and Hibiki also arrive there. Two more nuisances. Amane returns from the gate and finds the brothers. She tells them that she is wearing a Heisei-era gal costume. The boys excitedly ask if Sayu is there as well. Amane tells them that she just left. The boys start to feel a bit down. She apologizes, saying that the boys wanted to see her. Both of them blush and deny it instantly. Amane teases them, saying that Sayu really wanted to see the pair. Later, they go to Ijichi and take her picture. No privacy at all. Ijichi asks them why they are there. They tell her that her elder brother Jen told them to go and take her pictures. Suddenly, the duo gets surrounded by all the students. Ijichi rescues them and hands them over to Amane. Later, Takuya notices the boys and comes to them. Amane tells him to watch over them for a while. Takuya notices that the boys are looking dead inside. Amane told Takuya that they were surrounded by other students. Amane thinks of a way to cheer them up. She tells the boys that they can come to her house with Ijichi to meet with Sayu. They suddenly feel energetic. The boys seem to be in love. Later, Takuya plays games with the boys. After some time, Takuya goes to Ijichi and asks if he should drop the boys off at the door. Before that, Ijichi asks him to take a picture together. Takuya gets a déjà vu. He takes out his phone and shows the picture she took with him long ago. Ijichi then says that it is going to be a great fireworks night. My girl couldn't gather the courage to ask him. Later, Takuya drops off the boys by the gate. He then returns to the class and finds Amane and Ijichi waiting for him. They wonder what they should do next. Ijichi suggests that they should hold a mini celebration of their own. Meanwhile, other students are busy dancing like monkeys in a rock concert. The trio sits in the class and holds a small party. Afterwards, Ijichi notices that she has gotten a ton of DMs from Shion. Amane suggests to Ijichi that they should swing by the gym to attend the concert. They say their goodbyes to Takuya and head out with the girls. The second day of the event begins. Amane and Ijichi talk with Shion about the event. Ijichi then participates in the whack-a-mole game. She nails it. It looks like she is taking her anger out on the poor mole. She wins 3 cans of tuna as a prize. Later, Amane heads out with Shion to taste traditional tea. It looks like it is too bitter for our sweet Amane. Meanwhile, Takuya is busy looking at the pageant. Some boys come there and tell Takuya that the winner is either going to be Ijichi or Amane this year. Ijichi is done with the games and comes out of the class. Just then, Mayu calls out to her. She tells Ijichi that there are way too many couples today at the school. It looks like real-life Tinder. Ijichi says that she wouldn't date someone just as a fling. Mayu asks if she wants someone who is seriously into her. Ijichi tells her that she is correct. She further mentions that they should be humble enough to thank her or apologize to her. Ijichi continues with her demands, saying that she wants someone who is soft-spoken and kind to children and passionate about their own interests. Just then, Takuya's image flashes in her mind. Mayu asks if she has someone in mind. Ijichi was just about to take Takuya's name, but stopped midway. She changes the subject and says that she likes omelet rice. Nice way to dodge a bullet. Just then, Amane and Shion arrive there. Ijichi is startled and heads out. Later, Amane walks with Shion when she notices a Glittermon, Lord Catfish, as a prize for winning the shooting game. She takes up the rifle and aims for the Glittermon. Shion looks at her and wonders if she is aiming for the nail oil. She thinks that it is a fancy brand of oil for nails. Amane shoots and lands a hit on the Glittermon. She cheers in succession. Shion looks at her and asks if she wasn't aiming for the nail oil. Amane, realizing that her otaku side may get exposed, says that she was aiming for the nail oil but missed the target. After the game, she gets out and thinks about boasting about it to Takuya. Later, some guys ask Ijichi and Amane to hang out with them during the fireworks show. However, they refuse, saying that they have planned it with someone else. After getting tired of the pushy people, Amane and Ijichi meet up in the bathroom. Amane asks Ijichi about her plans for the fireworks. Ijichi returns the question. Amane tells her that she doesn't care about holding anyone's hand, as they are just rumors. Ijichi agrees, saying that if it were true, they could all hold hands together and be happy. She adds that if she had to pick someone, she would go with Takuya. Amane feels the same. Amane then asks if she would like to go with her. Ijichi agrees, and they both come close to each other. It looks sus. Just then, Shion comes there and looks at the two. She turns around, blushing, saying that she didn't see anything. Amane says they will have to keep her from talking about this to anyone else. Meanwhile, Takuya is busy reading books in the library. Suddenly, he hears 2 girls talking to each other. They say that the winners of the Miss and Mr. pageant usually start dating. They talk about how Ijichi or Amane will win the contest, and the master will be either Kaoru or Hashiba. They leave after talking for a while. Takuya seems to feel down. He takes out his phone and takes a look at his picture with Ijichi and Amane. He thinks that the two have better options than him. He starts to imagine the two with their partners. Suddenly, he gets a strange feeling of jealousy. Takuya thinks that if he doesn't want them to be happy, he suddenly starts to feel anxious. Later at night, the show begins. There are many students performing on the stage. Takuya looks at their performance from a distance. Just then, Ijichi arrives there. She asks Takuya if he got her DM. He apologizes and says that he didn't. He asks if something is happening. Ijichi tells Takuya that after their performance they are going to announce the pageant winners. That is why she and Amane have to go to the stage. Takuya congratulates her and asks if she already knows about the winners. Ijichi tells him that it is yet to be announced. She then tells him that she is going to give him a secret sign from the stage. She asks him to stay in sight. Takuya agrees. Ajichi then heads out saying that she has to get ready for it. After she leaves, Takuya wonders if he would even be able to look at the stage. He starts to feel anxious while thinking back to the moments in the library. Just then, Amane comes to him. She tells him that she has some big news. Takuya asks if she doesn't have to get ready for the pageant. She says that she has to get ready. However, she tells him that she has a more important matter. Amane takes out the Glittermon and shows it to Takuya. Takuya recognizes it instantly. My man has memorized all Glittermon names. Amane hands it to him. She says that whoever donated this has no idea of its value. Takuya smiles and says that it is really neat. However, his energy seems off. Amane notices that and asks if something is wrong. Takuya tells her that he has something on his mind. Amane asks if it is more important than Glittermon. She is curious to know and asks him to spill it. He tells her that he has been thinking that an introvert like him doesn't really fit in there. Amane agrees with him, saying that she doesn't like crowded places either. Takuya reminds her that she shouldn't accept all this at school. Amane realizes it and backs off from her statements. Takuya giggles and says that this is more like her. Just then a girl calls out to Amane. Amane says her goodbyes and walks away. Later, the guy announces the competition. Amane and Ijichi appear on the stage. Ijichi takes the first place while Amane takes the second. Next, the winners for the Mr. title appear on the stage. Takuya looks at them and feels down. He walks out of the hall. Amane and Ijichi get down from the stage. Ijichi looks around trying to find Takuya. Just then, Mayu and Shion arrive there. They ask the duo to go along with them. Later, other students engage in weird activities. There, Mayu has placed a board to line up the people who want to ask Ijichi to see the fireworks show. Ijichi looks at her phone and checks messages. Takuya has not responded to any of her messages. Mayu tells her that sometimes people sneak out when they don't like fireworks. Ijichi heads out to find Takuya. However, Mayu stops her and asks her to shake hands with everyone. Ijichi wastes no time and shakes their hands to get free as soon as possible. On the other hand, Shion does the same for Amane. However, Amane makes all of them go away. Shion teases her, saying that Amane has a thing for Ijichi. This woman thinks that they are in love. Later, Ijichi meets with Amane and tells her the situation. They try to think why Takuya would suddenly disappear. Amane asks Shion to cover for her while she goes away. Ijichi and Amane start to search for Takuya. Meanwhile, Takuya is busy sitting on a toilet seat. He looks at his phone and looks at his pictures with Ijichi and Amane as tears start to fall. He realizes something and starts to run down the halls. He thinks that he has to spend more time with the two, even if they live in different worlds. Takuya reaches the ground and finds Shion and Mayu talking about Ijichi and Amane. He then runs towards his class. He finds Ijichi and Amane there. Ijichi complains that they have been worried about him since he wasn't even responding to their messages. Takuya apologizes and explains the entire situation. Ijichi grabs his head and shakes him like a can. She asks why he would think such things. He finally confesses that he is into the two. Ijichi asks if he means it as in like, they make up for the lost time. The fireworks go off outside. All of the students look at the sky. Meanwhile, the trio stays in the class and sits down. They hold hands. Lucky guy, holding two cuties at the same time. Takuya talks about working on himself and becoming more worthy of the two. They both karate chop his head. They explain that he doesn't need to be extra cool. They like him as he is. The next day, Takuya applies some hair gel and walks towards his school. He expects some reaction from his classmates. However, no one notices anything. Takuya thinks that it is probably for the best. Just then, Ichichi arrives there and notices that he has done his hair. Takuya cries tears of joy as someone recognized it. Amane turns around and notices as well. Takuya starts to get lost in his thoughts. The duo calls him out, asking if he is even listening. They all smile and share a moment of happiness.